I'm gonna be honest, I've never got or understood the whole side hustle thing. And the reason for why I think that the majority of content creators fail is because they treat their content creation as a side hustle. Now, you may not be aware of this, but Goldman Sachs released a report at the start of this year which showed that only 4% of all content creators actually earn over $100,000. So that says a couple of things. Firstly, very clearly lets you know that vast majority of the reels or the stories that you're seeing of content creators saying that they posted 3 Instagram reels and made $10,000, it's just absolute rubbish. But what it also gives insight to is that in order to become a successful content creator, you can't just treat it as a side hustle. So what I wanted to do in this video is I wanted to break down the 3 areas that you need to focus on if you want to become a successful content creator and be part of the 4% which are earning over $100,000 a year. And the strategies I'm going to share with you have come from my own journey. Now, if we haven't met yet, my name is Aaron Young and I'm from 7-Figure Coaching. But this is not my first YouTube channel. In fact, my other YouTube channel, which has a focus on Google Ads, is the basis for my 7-figure business. So what I'm about to share with you are real and proven strategies, just not some ideas that I've made up in my head. But before we get to those 3 practical steps that you need to implement in order to be a profitable and successful content creator, we do need to firstly break down my first point of why I don't agree or like the whole side hustle thing. And the main reason for this is that this whole side hustle thing, which is kind of led to that you need to have 7 streams of income, really comes from a misunderstanding of what that 7 streams of income thought was all about. From all the research that I've done, this whole 7 streams of income really came from a report that was released by the IRS in the US, where it went through 6,000 high net worth individuals who died between 1996 through 2002. And what they found with a vast majority of these people is that they all had one thing in common, and that is that they had multiple streams of income, with the majority of them having 7 streams of income. With these streams of income being their earned income, so their salary or income from a business, investment income, capital gains, rental income, profits, royalties, and interest income. And the message that was kind of taken and twisted is that in order for you to become rich, you've got to have 7 streams of income. But what was missed is that these high net worth individuals, they didn't go about trying to find 7 streams of income. They got rich through a core career, so a core job or a core business, and then they leverage that wealth through those other streams of income. So rental properties, investments, capital gains, and you get the picture. So they weren't becoming rich through creating 7 streams of income. They were getting rich by focusing on their core career or their core business. When they had then seen success, that's when they branched out into other incomes. So this whole side hustle thing is kind of trying to do that in reverse, where rather than focusing on one career or one business to build wealth, you're spreading yourself too thin and with all of these side hustles, and that is where the problem lies. And my issue with the side hustle is that if you're trying to set up multiple side hustles or streams of income, you can't do any of them 100%. And that then brings us back to when it comes to something like content creation, in order to be successful, you need to give it 100%. Don't get me wrong, there will definitely be seasons in your life where you will have to have 2 things. So you'll have to have a job, and then also when you're starting your YouTube channel or becoming a content creator, you'll have to do both of those things at the same time. I've done that twice in my life. So when I started my first business, which was a villa resort over in Bali, at that time I was working full-time for a friend's real estate agency. So I had to build that business in the morning, at night, and on the weekends. And then when I started my other YouTube channel, that was when I was really focused in on Google Ads. Once again, I had to focus on 2 things. So there will be a time where when you're starting out something new, before your content creation is giving you enough income to leave your job, you'll have to have those 2 things. But the differences being is you're not treating content creation as a side hustle. You're treating it with the importance that is required, but you're just not getting paid for it. And that's why you've got another job, so that you've got other income coming in, so you can pay your rent, your mortgage, and just your general living expenses. So now that you know the difference between a side hustle and doing those 2 things at once, because as I said, when you're first starting out, especially in content creation, you will have to earn other forms of income so that you can just put food on the table. But remembering you're doing that for a season because your content creation needs the full attention and strategy that is required in order to be successful. All right, so with all of that said, let's now get into those 3 practical steps that that you need to put in place in order to be a profitable and successful full-time content creator. And the first one is that you need to have a monetization strategy from your very first video. So the common and most popular strategy about becoming a full-time content creator is actually not the best strategy to use. So you know the one where it's a simple two-step process where you firstly build an audience and then you monetize that audience through brand deals or through selling other people's products or your own products and services. The reason for why that is not the best model is because the amount of time that it takes in order to build an audience that is large enough to start monetizing that audience to the degree where you can actually leave your other job and become a full-time content creator. And even now, vidIQ has data that it takes on average 15.5 months to get your first 1,000 subscribers. Now, I know that that is true because, this is my second YouTube channel at the time of recording. I've been going for 6 months and I've got just under 600 subscribers. As I said, this isn't my first YouTube channel. I've got another YouTube channel which has over 85,000 subscribers. So I'm bringing that knowledge into this second channel, but even still, it's taking time to build my audience. And the problem is that for most content creators, because it takes so long in order to, build your audience so that you can start monetizing your audience, most content creators can't afford to put 2-3 years in content creation before they start to get any return. So that's why you need to have a monetization strategy that's in place right from your very first video. And even if you are not able to draw a full income from the money that you're earning from your channel, it can help you to be able to hire a video editor or be able to hire some support staff. So at least you're not doing everything by yourself. So now comes the question of how do you put in monetization strategy right from your first video? And I do this from what I call my YouTube sales loop. And this is a simple process where every video, even right back from my very first video, in every video, I give an invitation for people to continue the learning. And this could be with a free downloadable guide. It could be a Google Sheet, which takes them through how to complete different tasks, whatever the case would be. But I'm essentially giving them extra free teaching, which they can download. And when they download it, they join my database. And then when they've joined their database, because I've got their email details, I'm able to take them through a sales funnel so I can start selling my own products. In this case is my own courses, my own coaching, and my own communities, even before I've got a large audience. And even on this channel, which as I said, with a small audience, I've already had some months of over $5,000 from this strategy. So I know it's a strategy that works. Now, I want to get back into the rest of this video, but because that is such an important point, what I do want to do is that if you want to get access to my 6-figure funnel building kit, and what this does is this takes you through some different funnels that I use. You also get access to all of my high converting sales emails. If you want to get access to my 6-figure funnel building kit, all you need to do is to follow that link in the description below and you can get your free copy today. All right, let's now get into point number 2. And this is really now getting into the practicality. And what you want to be looking at here is that you want to have a set schedule for how often and when you'll be releasing your YouTube videos. For me, I've got the schedule of I release 2 videos a week, ranging from 8 to 20 minutes, and that is set in stone. So I do that every week of the year. So that means if I go on holidays, I've got pre-recorded content ready to go. Now, I do want to say that it doesn't matter whether you release 1 video a week or 2 videos a month, whatever the schedule is, it's more important that you really commit to that schedule and stay to that schedule for the long term. And the reason for why this is so important is because that way, after you've got some initial data in your YouTube studio, you can then match when you're releasing your content to when your audience is coming online. And let's jump into a screen share so I can show you what I mean. Okay, so when I'm in my YouTube studio, I want you to go over into your audience. And when you go into your audience level, what you'll actually see is you'll see this data of when your viewers are on YouTube. Now on this channel, which is my first YouTube channel, I release a video on Monday night at 8 p.m. and then I release another video on Wednesday. And the reason for why I've done that is you can actually see that my audiences are mainly in and around on YouTube on Tuesdays, you can see through here, Wednesdays, and in through here on Thursdays as well. And then it tailors off through the rest of the week. So that's why I release it on Monday night, just a couple of hours before they get online, and then again on Wednesday night. And the advantage of this is that I'm making sure that I'm releasing my videos when most of my users are online. Now, a little extra point on that is that you do need to release about 30 or 40 videos before you start seeing that data. I know for me, I used to release my videos earlier in the days at about 6 o'clock, and I used to release them on a Monday and Thursday. But then when I saw all that data, I updated my release time to moved it back to 8 o'clock at night, my time, and then changed the schedule from Monday to Wednesday. And the real power in that is that when you start to build an audience on YouTube and YouTube knows when your users are on, if you're releasing a new piece of content, you've got much more chance of the algorithm picking you up and putting you into the home screen or the recommendations feed. Because remember, 70% of all views on YouTube don't come from YouTube search, it comes from the home screen and recommendations. So that's why it's important to have a regular schedule that you stick to for releasing your new YouTube content. And then the third and final practical step is really following on from there is that, remember the number 2, you need to have a set schedule for when you release your YouTube content. The third one is about having a set schedule for when you write and record your content. And this is a really, really important step. Now, the next thing that I'm going to say can sound a little bit corny, but it's a saying that I've come up with and I keep repeating to myself is that in order to change your life, you need to change your calendar. And what I mean by that is that if you're really going to commit long-term to being a content creator, creating new content and regular content needs to become a priority in your week. So for me, when I decided to make the step of starting to launch videos on YouTube, I then just closed off Mondays. And what I did, I pushed all of my other work back into 4 days. It meant that I had to work some longer days on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays so that I could focus 100% on content creation on Monday. And then on Mondays, like even today, I still haven't opened up my email and I don't accept any appointments because on Mondays, the only thing I'm focusing on is writing and recording new content. For you, where you're at right now in your journey, Mondays may not be suitable for you. That may have to be a Saturday morning, or it may have to be a Sunday afternoon, or a Tuesday and Thursday night. Whatever the case is, you need to set aside a regular schedule in your week, stop any other appointments, make sure you're not doing anything else apart from creating content for your YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. My name is Aaron Young from 7-Figure Coaching. And remember, if you want to get access to my 6-figure funnel building kit, make sure you follow that link in the description below. And to help you further, I've also created a separate playlist on how you can become a full-time content creator in 2024. And this will take you through everything from really practical steps on how to record for YouTube, to how to create your own course, to how to sell those courses. And if you want to watch that full playlist of 8 videos, I want you to go through and watch this playlist right here. See you next time.